It's been such a long time since Boston led the way. It's more than a feeling. It's Mike and Tom to start the day. The heart of Massachusetts should be freedom, justice, and liberty. Freedom led pilgrims to Plymouth Bay. Salem trials had justice too late. The sons of liberty spilled the tea, and then the redcoats spilled their blood. The shot heard around the world rang out from the Bay State. Boston's strong and ready to defend. It's where revolution started and ends. It's been such a long time since Boston led the way. It's more than a feeling. It's Mike and Tom to start the day. Quincy Market, Freedom Trail, Charles River, Boston Harbor, Bunker Hill, Griffin Wharf, Fenway Park, Old North Charge. It's been such a long time since Boston led the way. It's more than a feeling. It's Mike and Tom to start the day.
Boom.
Good morning.
Boom. Hey,
Good morning. Good morning.
what's happening?
Happy birthday, Karen Reed.
Can you hear me okay? Yeah.
Yep.
Check. All right, man.
Sound good.
How'd you sleep last night? Like
I
a baby.
No, I only slept like,
No!
dude, 4 hours. Got 4 hours and I'm awake like that. Just life.
Oh, SRA, Mike, you were right. Bev is kicking AJ. You think so, huh? Wow. I don't know. He took off in another truck yesterday pretty quickly. He had a flight to catch.
They had
I
a
don't know.
flight to get.
Yeah. Yeah.
Quick.
I don't know, SRA. That's interesting.
I don't see it happening. I think that would really go directly to Karen having the. I mean, it's gonna get if she's convicted anyway, it's gonna get.
Oh yeah.
Appealed anyway.
Well, they're going with the double jeopardy all the way to the Supreme Court.
Supreme
They have,
Court.
yeah, if they have to, and then so that's already in the cards. But that's big. Like as Turtle Boy would say last night, that's big minerals, man. That's some big minerals right there.
Mike,
yeah.
we need to make that happen.
What
Because
happened,
until we need to make that happen. We need to get this in front of the United States Supreme Court. Because at that point, it gives us a talking point that we can go to all the people in Congress. We can go to all the people that have microphones and tell them the story of Karen Reed.
Well,
not Ted Daniels, who's gonna this,
man.
not Christina Rex, not anybody else.
Did they
No.
get duped or what, huh?
Let's go somewhere else who's never heard of the Karen Reed story and tell them the story. They'd be like, dude, get out of here. You're on crack.
I think the feds in the state are really open to hear this and really want to hear this, because how often do they hear something of a double jeopardy case? I have to look at some notes and look something up. Like, how many double jeopardy cases come in front of the Supreme Court in Massachusetts?
From all cases.
Right. Like
all places, Massachusetts, of all places. Like,
yeah, the most liberal place in the country, the bluest dot on the fucking map, right? But I'm not a political guy. I'm purple.
It's all politics, my friend.
Right, but I'm purple. But I really think there's more red coming this way. I really do. I think people are upset about the migrants and the alleged abuse that they have going on. And I believe there's a more percentage of good people in the migrants than there is bad. But we hear because bad sells, right? Bad news sells on TV, right?
Mike,
yeah.
I just want to let you know something.
All right.
If they're blue, they're the left wing. If they're red, they're the right wing.
Right.
It's the same fucking bird, guy. Let's go purple.
Right.
Purple's never flown. There's no bird here.
Yeah. I think
not left wing, not right wing. Someone who wants to do the work.
And you need both wings.
People do the work.
You need both wings to flap at the same time for the bird to fly straight. How Mr. Reed yesterday was saying that he knows it's political. He understands. Of course he does. Smart guy. And we won't see it per se, but they have to start aligning eventually when it comes to a vote. And Eden last night, Turtle Boy, he's talking about who the fuck is running for DA.
Same person running for Canton Select Board, dude. Whoever they want. End of story.
Yeah, but
you think you got a say in the matter?
Do you think it could go? Do you think it could go purple? Do you think it could go purple? I think it could. I don't think you need to be that far to the right.
I don't think you have an attorney out there that's got the sack to do it. You're going to go against the entire machine just by going running for DA. You have to be part of the machine. So unless you're one of them cogwheels, you ain't getting a chance, bud. You haven't earned it.
So you're thinking like someone that's a rhino, a Republican in name only, that might do it, or Dino, not even close, huh? You got to be a blue guy.
Morrissey 2.0. That's what you're getting.
Yeah. But maybe a little bit more above the board, maybe. Just a little.
Not in this fucking state. Sorry for the swearing. I'm tired today.
That's all right.
Swearing.
Yeah. I was surprised to see the 7 o'clock start, people. Thank you in the chat for jumping in. We were supposed to start, we wanted to watch something.
Yeah, but I figured the rest of the Karen Reed interview, we figured we could go over that with Ted Daniels, right?
Can I just talk about that real quick?
Well, we're gonna watch it. I want to watch it.
No,
yeah,
that too. But in the announcement that never happened.
What announcement?
That you were right on the money about. You were like spot on about. Nah, no way. And we stopped breaking down their words, and we were all like, I actually panicked. I was like, what the fuck is going on? But then I read your tweet. Then I talked to you on the phone.
Yeah.
I climbed back off the roof, and I got back in my house, and I was better. I was better. I was like, you're right. These motherfuckers on the mainstream media.
Right. And Morrissey called in a favor. Hey.
Yes.
Tell them this did. So they ran with it. And how can they not?
Because I think Paul got eviscerated over the weekend.
Absolutely. 100%. And to the point
point
he needed protection to walk into a stupid courthouse.
Did you, Dr. Turtle?
I don't need protection to go over there.
I know. And Turtle Boy said that Helena got escorted out of court yesterday too.
By Mr. Hartman.
Yeah. But she's got a badge and a gun.
Yeah, she's trained.
So who's gonna? I mean, you can't take a few criticized words. I mean, she. I guess she was staring down Eden at Turtle Boy last night. I mean, yesterday in court. So didn't Chinless and Dougal both giving him the look. He's like, I'm the wrong guy. I'm not gonna look away. I'm looking away at you. Get away from me, dude. Yeah, I guess you don't know who I am.
The more they do that, right?
Oh, no, he loves it.
It's just like
he knows you're in your head.
Oh God,
he's rent free. He's rent free in your head, kicking off the side of your eardrums.
Thank you much.
Yep. He knows it. I love it. I can't believe they would actually, first of all, just be that. Carl, let Carl back in after what he did last year. He should be suspended.
But you know what? Let's talk about Carl real quick.
All right.
Anybody here works for the Boston Police Department, right? That boy went up and down them stairs freaking great. So whatever physical therapy program he's on for his hurt knee that he can't work, he can't sit at a desk. But whatever physical therapy program he's on, they're doing dynamite. Because that boy, he's got his gait's right on the money. His stride's consistent. His foot placement's right. He doesn't have foot drop when he's walking. He's right on the. He's good, man. He's whatever you're doing for the PT for that man. You're doing a great job. I just want to put that out there.
Right.
Thank you, Boston PD.
Right. I think a lot of PD people might do that. I mean, I know firefighters that I played golf with before that
perfect time of the year, isn't it? Trial starting up. Got to go out on disability.
Well, they literally
Let's get this boy back to work, right?
I think firefighters, man, they hurt their backs, knees.
Different job.
I understand,
job, dude. I've seen them pick up people that were 350, 400 pounds,
right,
and get them out of third floor. I've watched it.
Shoulders, everything. I've seen they're all beat up, man. Yeah.
And dude, all of them scuba dive. So from putting you, believe it or not, from picking up the tank with the weight belt on, you lug it up, blow your shoulder out, man.
Oh yeah, a lot of them. I mean, give them credit, man.
They all wear the air tanks, portable air thing. From picking it up, and you're getting your whole entire uniform on top of that,
right?
And you're wet.
Yep. To be physical like that on a day-to-day basis, even like washing the truck, they wash their trucks constantly.
They have to. It's their life that saves them.
The house is spotless. You know what I mean? And they're all like, it's a different type of atmosphere with a firefighter and a cop. Am I right?
Well, you're absolutely correct. Now the cop should be just as squared away as that fire department is. As in, the floors are always clean at the fire department. There's nothing out of place. Everything has a spot, and the truck's always clean. Yep. Just like the cop's uniform should always be clean and pressed and creased the right areas, and no hanging strings. That's what we go through the academy to teach you how to do that. If you look put together, it's a different. You have a different presence.
Right.
So people don't even know what a gig line is. So God help them. So things have changed, Mike. I don't know what the next generation coming up, what them chiefs are going to be like. And it scares the hell out of me.
Yeah,
dude, because they just may be told what to do. That's it.
Exactly. Yeah. This is what you need to do to get your 30 years in, or 25 years in, whatever it might take. I mean, I get it. Some police officers, when they're chasing somebody and stuff like that.
That's different.
But Jesus Christ, man, the firefighters, man.
Listen, Mike, if I gave you the authority to chase anybody you want driving, you would, what would you like if you saw me, right? And you wanted to pull me over? I'm like, I don't want to pull over. And you had the authority to chase me.
Oh, yeah.
What would you do with that authority?
I would chase your ass.
Would you use it?
Of course.
Who doesn't want to do that, man?
Well, unless you're a veteran, because I remember playing basketball with this veteran Stady. He would say to me, he'd work the overnight shift in the 495, and he was a sergeant, and he would go, I don't chase anybody. I pull in the middle of a run freeway, and I let all the rookies do it, and I'll roll up later when it's all said and done.
Yeah.
Because you can blow by me doing 90 miles an hour. I'll not flick my lights on. I'll wait for my guy down 2 miles and grab you. Then I'll come up, roll. That's literally what he did. He was done. He was done chasing. He said, it doesn't turn me on anymore. It's more of a pain in the ass. And because they usually drown, he was
so they have to run radar. So what happens is he'll sit one place and he'll run radar, like on the top of an overpass.
Right.
And he'll bang you. So you go right by him.
Yep.
And he'll radio bump.
Yep. That's what he's doing at night. Yep. You should literally have to hit me in my car for me to come get you. Let the younger guys go. They love it. They loved it. But anyways.
How can you not?
I know.
And then listen, and then by the way, what if you had to get over here as fast as you could and you had the authority to just drive as fast as you want? Hammer down the entire way, guy.
I'll be there in 2 minutes.
Like how fast could you get from you to me?
Oh man. I don't know, man. It's if I had the lights in the fucking car and the
out of my way, that too.
Going right through for everybody, right around. Like, I mean, you see the ambulance drivers go, man. They cut through everything. They're pretty good drivers. I'll give them credit, man.
Listen, you don't realize, but they're not driving in like a dually. They're driving like a triple.
Yes.
It's
so top heavy,
way
right?
Outside. It's big. It's out here, sideways. Because it's a lot wider.
I think those are typically diesel too, and they because they carry weight. They got a lot of weight in them, and they're top heavy.
Yeah,
they're good drivers. They slip and slide between cars like, whew. I'm always pulling.
I couldn't do it through Boston. No way.
I pull over to the right as much as I can all the time. I don't.
Yep.
It's tough enough when they have like someone that just learning to drive or doesn't know how to drive, and they're just sitting there at a red light. Hey, dude, just inch forward so they can slide around you. Because they're just wailing on the side right behind you.
People don't realize they need to get out of the way.
I did hear chimney sirens yesterday out there in Dedham.
Yeah, it's funny. I stopped and got a pizza. It was funny, Mike. The lady, there's a TV behind me, big TV, and the news was on. I forget what station.
This last night?
Yes, it was on my way home.
All right.
And the news is on, and here's Karen walking in, right? And there's me right behind.
Oh yeah,
right.
We saw you too.
And the lady looks at the TV, looks at me, looks at the TV, looks at me, and I go, "What?" And I go, "Oh,
yeah, that's what I do. That's how I go." Yeah, you were on. Yeah, you were on. Sorry, yeah, we were watching it last night. You were on there. Yeah, I'm
Waiting for you
awake.
to get up, Amy. Well, now we can do our interview thing. Here we go. We're good.
All right, all right. So we're gonna watch the pot due of Ted Daniels.
Yeah, we got to stop it every once in a while and talk about it. So, all right. So this is the Karen Reed interview. The second part of the Super Bowl was the first half. This is the second half.
Good morning, Amy. Can you take the banner down? Anybody? Thanks.
I can.
All right, man. There you go, buddy. Thanks.
All right, you ready?
This is part 2 where she's in a truck
with Ted.
Yes.
All right.
How many nights do you think that you've stayed at a hotel since this legal saga began?
Since the legal saga began, trial was every bit of 10 weeks and then a week or so leading up to it. So that's 100 days, 90 plus days. And then every hearing, at least one day. And that's just not having a license and being out in the suburbs. Now I don't have my house anymore. So I'm always in transition of where I'm staying. So, and when Alan and Liza come in and now Bob, and if it's one of our experts, time is of the essence. And I like to be involved in everything. So I certainly don't want my legal team convening and I'm not there. You miss one day of this case on this legal team and you're behind.
Dude.
Yeah.
She's doesn't have a house, so she lives in a hotel.
She's now I would think she would be, yes. Yeah, she's there all the time now, yeah. I'm not gonna say knock it down, but they make deals if you know you're gonna be like
no doubt. Yep.
Yeah.
We're gonna board this block of room. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
You guys have this whole corner. Here are your 5 rooms. You literally could knock on the door and
we'll comp you a room. You rent 5 a month or whatever.
Right. And I would imagine some people probably that are going to the Karen Reed trial might even stay there from out of town. Like some of the news agencies that are flying.
Yeah.
Because maybe they bump into one of these guys in the hotel or, in the elevator and they say, hey, what's up? They do some, how it works.
I wonder who put the GoPro there.
Oh, they have a couple of them.
Did they?
There's one right behind Ted's head on the right. Yeah.
Getting the other angles.
Buy 4, get 1 free, right? Yeah. Jessica likes this. This is the best interview yet. Okay, cool.
Well, let's go.
We just got a discovery dump today. This tends to happen right before a hearing. We get discovery. I wonder if part of that is preempting us saying in court in an open forum that we're still waiting on this, this, and this. So then we get it. And then we haven't had time to really distill it before we're back in court. But we just got a dump today. And it's nice because the lawyers are coming in and we're kind of all combing through it. We'll sit down tonight and go through it. We'll have time again tomorrow to go through it. So staying with them helps foster this.
Dude, think of just the questions that she could answer. This piece of paper comes in. What's this? Oh, this is this. Oh, this is that.
They didn't show a lot of her yesterday, but when they did, she was busy going through binders and putting things up.
Yeah, I remember her looking right at the laptop going, it's right there.
Yep,
right.
Yep.
So and she's on it.
She would look over the lines with concerned eyes, and then get the assurance that, we got it. And
we're good. Yeah, I get you.
She's good, man.
All right. So I'm impressed.
Logistically.
During this time, when there is no trial, we see you in court once every, 3 months? But what's going on when we're not seeing you? This is it, right?
This is it. I work on the case every day. From when I wake up, I'll take a few breaks. I'll have dinner with friends or with my family or both. But the hearing those are easy days. I mean, they're easy for me. I don't have to do anything, but it's all the days in between. Now this is the second trial. So for any given witness, there's the initial police reports, or in some cases, no police reports. We've got the state grand jury. Then we've had a federal grand jury and now a trial. and then any interim police reports that involve some of these witnesses. So it's layers of statements, and the inconsistencies are just seemingly endless. So there's always
right, dude. Right.
Weren't we talking about that, Mike?
Yes. Is she listening to us right now? But I mean,
I hope so.
Does she have something?
Because that's the right play. I think that's the right move.
Lawyer 101, man. I mean, they destroyed. They destroyed Brennan yesterday. But they didn't show a lot of Auntie Bev. But from what I understand is that she just sits back and just again, just rolling in her chair, looking around, not really caring. And here I am looking at Alisi just massively eviscerate the prosecution with all these great 10 mistakes that he had, and she's up there just rolling back and forth like she's already got her mind made up. And what got me yesterday too, and again, Sandra, is why she made the defense team stand up and swear under oath that everything they told today was truthful. That blew my mind. Like, she made Yannetti stand up, Jackson stand up, Liza stand up, and Bob Alisi.
Part of being in court is they have to tell the truth.
Right.
There's certain things that they can pass words, but there has to be truth in it.
Do you think it was like a way to say, I got you on something and I'm just not going to tell you yet? I don't know. So listen, I'm speculating on that, so I don't know. But
listen, I got a federal investigation I want to sell you.
Man, did someone buy that? Someone, you have to think somebody from the DA's office leaked that out on purpose, because that's Ted's reputation. And I understand if Ted got duped, dude. It's a political machine, like you said, right?
But there's no such thing as a Karen Reed investigation.
There is
no such thing. It doesn't exist. Dude,
there's no such thing as a stopped murder case either, right? If this is a murder and it comes to be a murder, it's always open. It's never going to be closed.
You think we're going to have Canton police solve this?
No. They don't want to solve it.
I'm so glad that the 2 got dropped off. 3,000 pages of exculpatory evidence.
Yes.
They haven't, Mike. They've read that. They've digested that. Now, right?
Introduce it.
Now, from the TUI,
Hawk TUI,
you have the police reports Karen talked about. You have the grand jury reports that Karen talked about. You have the state grand jury reports, and you have trial one
testimony.
That's 4 different times something was said, and if it changes,
gotcha.
Problem.
So that's what she means by parsing through the dumps and every witness that comes in. Like, they probably have a binder of every person.
Oh, sure. You know how Olivia does that with her data? Like, she'll take something and she'll tear it apart and show you the pieces of it.
Yeah.
I'm sure they have that for each person and for testimony and for actual evidence that gets matched with the testimony. And
Yep.
So they're on it, which is their job. Technically that's what she's paying them for. But I'm good to see she's so involved in this.
She knows this case as good as them, or if not better.
She's living it.
That's what $5 million gets you.
Oof.
Always work to do, and it's like finding a needle in a haystack, that the report may look at a first glance to read the same, but then you read it 2 or 3 times and it starts to sink in. We were just looking at a police report, my father and I, a couple mornings ago, an early police report from January 29th by Michael Lank with the Canton PD. And I've read this so many times that I don't know if I've become desensitized to it, but he says to Matt McCabe when he goes into 34 Fairview, if John got in a fight the night before. And I always read that as if...
And that's documented?
That's documented in the Canton police report from that day, 3 years ago, nearly to the hour to right now. But now that I read it, I'm like, of course he's being asked if he knew of John getting into a fisticuffs, because John looks like he was.
Right.
And those are things that I read in the moment when I was arrested and then arraigned on February 2nd. And I don't quite know the contours of what I'm dealing with. I first think that This is just mistaken. I was hysterical. I was drinking, and they've just got the wrong person. And then piece by piece, it came together.
I
Like
can see
they
that.
got the right person.
I can see how she would think it would be a mistake. Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, because of the fight comment, right? Like, okay,
or whatever, right? She was drinking. Like she knows drinking and driving's wrong. To her, she knows that's wrong.
Right.
Wow. But now I'm seeing that. She was hysterical. What do you mean I did something wrong? Okay. Well, like she didn't know. She's the last person to know.
Then she skips over basically in her mind that he asked Michael Link. Link asked Maddie, did he get in a fight last night? Do you think he got in a fight last night or whatever it was? She said. Wow. Interesting. And she, you know what I like about her too. She's open. I was drinking. Yeah. So what? Next page. Move on.
But that's what she was thinking. She was in trouble for.
Right.
She couldn't process it. She's in shock when that happened. When just seeing John, finding him. So
yeah, dude, she's never gonna forget that.
No.
I'm the wrong person, but for them, I was the right person. Now, 3 years later, looking at a police report that I got on February, actually, David came and brought it to the holding cell at the Stoughton District Courthouse on February 2nd, right before I was arraigned. You see something every time that you just can't see without repetition. Your eyes like preempt what you're gonna, what the next word is, what the next sentence, and it doesn't have the same meaning to you today on January 29th, 2025 that it did in 2022.
So are you going through?
Jen McCabe texting, hello, where are you? She's texting the phone, not John O'Keefe. They couldn't find his phone. I'm positive that's what happened with that.
I agree.
All the police reports that you've looked at prior and all the statements, you're going through everything again.
You got to go through everything again, because every time you get something new, it's not what is this on its face. In my case, it's what's changed. What are they saying now versus what did they say 6 months ago, 12, 18 months ago? So you're always doing, I've got some things in a spreadsheet. That's how my mind has always worked, but some things you just have to read. Yeah. You've got to go through the court minutes, go through the transcripts. But a police report today, we'll read something. Liza and I were on the phone on the way up here, and it's, wait a minute, what did this witness say, or what did this responding officer say back on February 10th, 2022? Well, now he's saying this. So you've got to always compare and see what's changed.
Do you feel like you've gotten more astute doing this now for 3 years?
I feel I understand now how it's going to, I understand better how it's going to play in court. I think of things I was texting David constantly in the early days of this. I'd find something and I think, well, can't we go talk to this person? And they'll say it didn't happen that way. And now I know better how tough it is to get, and especially in my case, how tough it is to get something admitted. Even going into trial with my seasoned attorneys, there were things we thought we could show, like an exhibit, for example, like one witness, Christina Hanley, the key part of her forensic report at the MSP lab, and she's just a scientist, a civilian, but the glass on the bumper that was photographed on the bumper does not match the cocktail glass, So that means it's from another piece of glass. So that had to have been two breaking events. There's the glass that was found around John's body, the base, I think it was Lank that pulled it out with his gloves on, or maybe it was Buchnick, the base of the cocktail glass. That is scientifically proven by the state police, Christina Hanley, not to be the glass that was on the bumper.
But I think the jury was left in the first trial with the impression that it was the glass.
Yes, because it's so confusing. Nothing's referred to as the cocktail glass or the bumper glass or the lawn glass. It's 7-1, item 5,
right,
or item A, or 7-12, items A, B, C, D, and E. And then there's more glass found by Proctor, and that's 7-13, item A.
Think about how confusing just the evidence is, and how Bev has everything numbered and labeled and got what? Remember that? She redid all the exhibits with Jim last year. Remember? Because they weren't in her order.
Yes. I do remember that.
Think about all of the evidence they're throwing at her, but it's piecemeal and it's so random. Mike, you're the only outfielder. There you go. Everyone's up to bat.
Right. And like we have the advantage of actually rewinding it, hearing it. So basically, what we're saying from the state lab is that it didn't match up. In layman terms, why can't we just say it that way? You know, the piece in the bumper, the piece in the snow aren't the same glass.
No. Exhibit 73-261AQ to the
Right.
8th power squared.
Squared. Yes.
But they do that on purpose to confuse you. She's
Yeah.
right. The bumper glass is bumper glass.
Wow.
That's odd.
And I'm just glad she's saying. We've been saying it all for a year or so, whatever now, and she's like basically saying, "Yeah, that's the." See, this is like not poisoning the jury, but she's reiterating the facts that we know, we talk about in content, and maybe some people don't understand it, and she's breaking it down like you do with the 5-year-old, right? Talk to you like
Right.
the 5-year-old, and this is what you really need to do. But she's not allowed to. I didn't realize that she's allowed to actually say, "Well, so what you're saying is the bumper glass and the snow glass are two different glasses." She's saying no. You have to say exhibit 1, 2, 3, and exhibit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 don't match. And then people are writing it down in their notes. They're not worried. They are using the word glass. Yeah, I can see how that would sway a jury, and they would forget about that downstairs.
Do you think that this is just the taillight pieces, right?
Mm-hmm.
You think they're sequentially numbered?
Yes.
No.
Why?
Because of when they were found in the case.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Because the different days and
spread out, right? All spread out with this exhibit and this testimony and this witness's statement. And next day we found a piece of evidence. It happened to be a piece of taillight.
Right. I
think they do it on purpose, dude. That's just the whole Fugazi thing. It's confusing.
Why can't they just do it in layman terms? Like
because they do it. That's how they win.
Yeah. Or try to win. Yeah. Okay.
All right. That's interesting that she knows. She picks up on that. That's smart on. That's a good catch on her.
Well, I did too. I was like, so wait. Whoa. In the police report, because we were able to read the docs, we had the docs. Olivia or someone, Turtle Boy, someone would break it down.
But I'll tell you, I'm sure there's stuff that her eyes have seen that you and I haven't seen.
Oh, fuck yeah! But you would
imagine her trying to talk for an hour.
But what you think if you were honorable beverage, and you would say to yourself, "Fuck, that's not right," but I'm just going to try to dazzle them with bullshit, right? But that's just so corrupt. That's because so biased.
There's so much case law, and she's got Mike. She can say Red Flintstone wins, and guess who's the winner?
Yeah,
she's got that much power from that bench. End of story. End of freaking story. That much power. She knows the law, and this is what makes her a good attorney. She can deny a motion for Karen on some remote case law that was done in 1900.
I understand.
But she can cite that, and by her citing that, she wins.
This is interesting. So Alan Jackson's walking on the court last week, and he was asked if he was. And he said absolutely not. That was introduced into court yesterday. By Hank Brennan said, "Well, you said to Christina Rex that you didn't pay Acker, but you really did. It came from the defense." And what
came from escrow? It freaking came from escrow. Of all people, he knows that. All checks come out of that. It doesn't. Alan Jackson's name's on nothing.
Oh no! Okay, that's what I'm saying. It wasn't him personally. It didn't come out of the Alan Jackson law firm.
But it's still got nothing to do with Alan Jackson or David Giannetti or any. It comes out of the Karen Reed Defense Fund.
Right.
Escrow number, blah, 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 blah.
But here's my point, is that Christina Rex asked him a question, and the way he answered it Maybe it wasn't the right verbiage to use, but
Mm-hmm.
Brennan used it against him in court yesterday. So I'm looking at this right now going, okay, she just put it in layman's terms about the glass without exhibit number, blah, 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 blah. Can Karen defense use this as an exhibit? Seeing how Christina Rex is walking down the sidewalk, asked Jackson about the checks and this and that, and Brendan, you tried to use it against him yesterday. It was crazy.
Don't even get me going on the media.
All right, we'll stop. Okay.
No, because the media, they're all going to take a digger. Each one of them walking backwards. I'm fucking taking them out one by one. Because guess what? No, I'm sorry if I'm swearing. This makes me mad because
someone took a fall.
I promise you that, and I don't care who it is. Now listen,
I'm getting involved.
They were walking backwards yesterday, and they put somebody in the snowbank on the front lawn of the friggin' courthouse. They pushed her. She wrecked her. She's on ice right now.
Wow.
Sore. If she doesn't have a black and blue like this on her thigh, I'll be surprised. It's got, if not bigger. Yeah, she got taken out by the friggin' news camera. So there's twice they've done that. There was a lady out front yesterday saying, "Guys, don't touch me with the cameras."
I heard that.
You knock me down. You be careful, please do. And I even said something to him. So
I heard you. Yeah.
I at this point, whoever's walking backwards is going backwards. That's an end of story. I'll be, I don't care. I'm done. How many times my head's been hit with a camera?
Yeah, you'll be walking backwards yourself.
I'm good. I'm done. I'm not playing the game.
There was a lot of them.
They want to push bullshit stuff like this. They're going down. I don't. You know what footage they'll have? Zero. Camera's not going to work, guy.
Yeah.
Not my problem.
No one helped her out. No officer. Nothing, huh? And here we are having the chief of police from Canton, state police, people everywhere for the O'Keefes, and we can't get Karen and escort a state police escort. Or is there a state? I have no idea. But there was so many. I counted at least 5 cameras in her face. And good job with the flowers, by the way, yesterday. We can talk about that later if you want, but that was nice. Saw the flowers.
So yeah, the media's got to learn that they're either going to play along with us or they're not going to play along at all, because that's not going to happen. Absolutely not going to happen. And I promise you, people are going to trip and fall because all the cameras, they all take this and they walk backwards.
Yeah.
And you know, there's telephone poles. All of a sudden you'll hear one of them bang, they'll just stop them dead, right? It's like
no one spots them, huh? No one's like behind them, like guiding them with the shoulder.
Nope. Wow. It's camera and reporter trying to
right. Yeah. So
microphone in your face.
So camera this way, and the reporter. Yeah, they're walking, right?
Yeah,
I got you.
Yep. So because the camera's got to capture the reporter who's got the microphone, who's got to put it in her face.
Oh, they all want their face on TV.
That's all. Yeah. But that's bad. I don't care.
Do you think Karen should?
So not happy about this, dude.
Do you think Karen doesn't want to answer any questions to the mainstream media? She just wants to get out of there because she would usually stop at the steps and do a statement, right?
They put her in such a predicament where they ask her these leading questions, right?
Yeah.
And she'll answer them, but they'll chop it up.
Yeah.
I'm so mad at what they portray. It's really it's wrong what they're doing to this whole thing. So if they're not gonna play nice, then maybe they shouldn't be playing at all. This is our freaking sandbox. Get out. I'm not doing this. No.
Gotcha.
So here we go.
And when you have the scientist who, my guess is worried that we're trying to impeach her when we're in fact not, we just want her to present the report. And this is, I don't know when she testified, but it's mid-trial, it's 2 p.m, it's 80 degrees outside, and you see jurors' eyes glass over, and I know what's coming. I know what that report is, and it doesn't come out cleanly. So we were thinking going into trial, we could summarize what she was saying using her her own acronyms and abbreviations. Here's 712, here's 713, no match, something like that. And that exhibit was denied. So we were learning on the fly things we
thought. That happened at Sidebar, correct? Because I don't remember.
It happened at Sidebar.
Okay. So this is a very familiar
Sidebar we're not allowed to hear.
Spot in Boston for you.
Well,
This is your old life.
This is my old life that I go by probably once a week. I took the train in and out of South Station every day to where I lived in Mansfield. And I'd come out the back, and this is where I worked for 15 years. Fidelity at 245 Summer Street. And
equity analyst was your title.
I was equity research. My role was a sector specialist, and it was in this building at 245.
Do you still stay in contact with any of the people you work with?
I do. I would say about half of my donations have come from former colleagues at Fidelity. Half of what you're aware of that you can see has come from former Fidelity colleagues. So
thank you, every Fidelity person. Thank you, thank you, thank you. They have the means to make this all go away. They really do.
My nephew just got a job there as a intern to write code.
Yeah.
He's gonna go exactly to that building 1 week, and then work from home as an intern. Yeah, so he's psyched. He got the job. What a test they gave him! Wow, they had like 2 other programmers.
Yeah,
and they gave him a problem to fix. It was like crazy. I'm like, oh my god, dude, good luck. But he's pumped. Anyways, go ahead. Sorry.
No, we're good.
It's funny, Ted. I was sent home from Fidelity from that building, I want to say the second week in February 2020, the pandemic. And I remember talking to someone on the subway. I took like a 2 p.m. train back to Mansfield, and I was talking to someone else who had been sent home from a job, a different facility.
Because of COVID.
And we were saying, we'll be back in a week, right? 2 weeks. Little did I know, I'd reconnect with someone I had dated nearly 20 years earlier in 2004. I'd be working from home for 2 years, and then he would be tragically killed, murdered. And I've been framed for it. And I never would set foot in that building again. So it was a pandemic, and then I was suspended from Fidelity officially as soon as I was indicted.
Is that their policy?
I would think so. I would think so, that it means there's been some due process.
Is there hard feelings about that? Or could you even have kept your job even if you wanted to?
I would not be capable of having that responsibility to shareholders and trying to save my own life. I was bitter at first, but I understand it. I just had such strong, tender feelings and I still do, for Fidelity.
She loved that job. So what she's feeling is she's feeling lost. Imagine that. Imagine having a job that you love and not
15 years is a fucking long stint at State
good run
at Fidelity.
I'm sure she has a sense of loss.
Of course. A routine, everything is just,
no more. And she could never go back to it.
No, her life is forever changed, bro.
Yeah.
Changed. Yeah. It's crazy.
Blue Eyes probably did. You probably sat across from her on the train. You never know.
Ooh.
Wow.
I would have stayed there forever. I was very happy there. But as former coworkers have reached out, have donated incredibly generously, I feel like, all right, it's the company is the people.
Yeah.
And they've been there for me. And
do you miss that?
I miss working every day. I miss just being ordinary and not feeling like people are looking at me everywhere I go.
Does that happen?
It does. I don't know that everyone is, but I know people approach me everywhere I go, and I have to imagine there's people who aren't approaching me that recognize me. But I've
dude.
Oh, you have that problem, Tom.
I know exactly what she's saying.
I know you do.
It's like you can't go anywhere, right? Like I can't go to Stop and Shop. It's just like I can't stop and get gas. I can't. I'm sure there's things that I can, but they know me for this, Mike. They don't know her for this. That's the problem. Wow. Glenn Lake, thank you for supporting us, bud, big guy.
Oh my
Good seeing you
God.
here.
Yeah, I like Willie. What's up, buddy?
So yeah, I couldn't imagine.
Come to terms with the fact, Ted, that this is what my purpose is in my life. It wasn't working at Fidelity. It wasn't teaching a night class at Bentley. Those jobs are replaceable. Someone else is doing the job. Someone else is teaching. Someone else is the dean at Bentley now that my father's gone. And we're here to shed light on the corruption that exists in this state. And I feel humbled by it in some ways. It's a nightmare, and I wish it never happened. But I also feel that I can handle this, and I don't feel weaker as it goes. I feel stronger. And the public support is a big, the restoration of my reputation, which was a big loss, has re-energized me, has energized me, rejuvenated me. But this is what I'm here for. And I get messages constantly mainly from people I've never met and from people that are suffering. And it's a lot of women that have either had like a physical loss of a spouse or a child, or an illness similar to mine, or with a colostomy bag, or have been the victim of police harassment or some type of unfairness with the criminal justice system. And
Mike, that is so true. I see it, dude. People go up to her, right? And they're like, this happened to me. And sorry. Oh, there's LaFerno. Jeez, look at, oh my God. Thank you so very much.
She's on the show. When's she on the show?
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you so much for the hundo, eh?
She's good with the glare.
They're giving a good team?
Yeah. Yep. Remember I told you from the start that she's going to be taking Bedrow's place?
Yeah. Oh, on the circuit?
Yep.
All right. Cool,
She's what we need. She's that analysis that we need and that feedback. And dude, she grew up in Southie throwing fist, bud. Like she wasn't sitting in the closet, playing on her instrument. She was out in the streets. This girl.
I heard
go with her.
I heard she swears like a sailor.
She let you know how she feels, and that is like,
yeah.
Bedrow's good. We need a queen, though. We need a queen.
Yeah. She keeps on saying, "I'm not the next Bedrow." Yeah, she's just.
She don't have to be, right?
No, she's awesome, man.
She can be the queen, but
she can be a king.
Yeah, that too. Whatever. I guess.
If we're being politically correct there, I mean.
I don't think you've seen her recently, but
I have. No,
I go queen on that one, Mikey.
She's the queen of hearts for sure. Yes, yes.
Poor Karen.
I'm gonna hear about that one. Again,
there's a lot of suffering in this world. Mine's just very visible, but I do feel honored isn't the right word, but I'm humbled by it, and I feel like this is your purpose, and a lot of people have purposes thrust on them that they didn't really want.
So people will stop you on these streets. What do they say to you?
A lot of times, so I just went to the cobbler to get shoes that I'm going to wear to court this week that I wore out during trial. And the cobbler on Tremont Street and someone in the shop said to me, just very respectfully, hang in there. And a lot of people are pulling for you. I hear that probably the most, if I could generalize the sentiment. We're pulling for you. Hang in there. I was walking through the Common when the weather was warmer in the fall with an old friend from Fidelity, and someone just was running, some guy maybe about 25, 30 years old, running through the Common, and he waited until he passed me. And this was about 5 o'clock. There were people everywhere, and he just yelled, "Free Karen Reed." People will yell that in a busy area, but it's constant. And it's heartwarming to me that this is my old stomping grounds. I used to live here in the building on the other side of this park lane. That was my first apartment. I met my best girlfriend there, and then I started working at Fidelity.
Were you in your 20s when you all started?
I was in my 20s when I started at Fidelity. I'd been somewhere before that, but this area is comfortable to me. And there was a year that was kind of in hibernation where the general public did not know the truth of what had happened.
Right.
So I didn't know when I went out, what are people thinking? I would go check my mail or bring my garbage barrels in at night. I'd wait until nighttime, and then I'd go out to the street on Gilbert Street, where I used to live in Mansfield, and I just didn't want anyone looking at me or wondering or judging. And now I can only go out when I have energy and I'm ready to engage and I'm receptive to it. I mean, if we're having a rough day with the case or something personal, I can't just go out and be anonymous and just sit and.
Because someone will approach you.
Someone will approach you, but it always feels good.
Yep.
And it makes me think, all right, these are common people. These are the jurors.
Yep.
And I've had one experience with someone saying something negative to me, and I've had, I don't know, countless during trial. Every time we went somewhere on an average night or an average lunch outing, 20 people. In the summer during trial in this neighborhood, we'd have 15 to 20 people just to go out for lunch for an hour. We'd get stopped that many times. It does feel good. The contrast with what it was like before this, before people knew, it does feel good. It's just takes a lot out of you.
Have you always been high energy and sort of on the move, or have you had to sort of reach deep?
I've always worked well under pressure. I've had other challenges in my life, and I always feel stronger after I overcome them. What I've had to learn to do is keep things in perspective, not let the evil that's entered my life take over how I feel about people in general. And that's another reason when I'm out in a busy area, it's like, right, this is humanity. It's just, there's a few powerful people who don't have good intentions that have a lot of control over my life right now. But yeah, I've been I would say, yeah, high energy. I mean, I was sick for a while, so
Yep.
Notwithstanding that period, but I don't usually crumble under stress.
In your day-to-day, sort of since the first trial ended, would you say that, do you get any free time? Like if you're going to decompress, like what's that going to be? What's that? Do you like listening to music? Do you have shows, books? Where do you find that sort of, where do you get that rejuvenation from?
I feel the best when I'm working on the case. If I have a dinner planned with someone, and inevitably the conversation at the dinner table always turns to the case, or someone comes over and wants to talk about the case. I do have shows. I try to make it a policy, Ted, unless something is really pressing that comes up at night. I try by 8 or 9 o'clock to put some thoughtless TV on, a reality show or a movie, something fictional that I've wanted to see, just to help me sleep. And, the first year, the first 6 months, a year of this hell, I had nightmares. I dreamed about John. I dreamed about finding him. I had this recurring dream that he survived, but didn't know what happened to him. I've not had that dream in a long time. But I found I've got to try to force my brain to shut off, and then it becomes muscle memory. Then by 10 or 11.
Boy, isn't that the truth? Wow.
Damn. Wow. She's freaking strong, dude.
Can you believe that, dude? She doesn't sleep like us.
No.
Like she gets up and works on it, and she's probably going over like this and then this and then that, and
right. That takes a strong mind to do that, and the muscle memory thing is huge. If she can just keep a routine going at night and just
she unplugs, right? You have to walk away and unplug. There comes a point where you got to stop.
Right.
She found it, so good for her.
Yeah.
I hope that.
Well,
she gets a recharge.
Did you see when she said thoughtless TV? She looked right at Ted.
Probably tell him the schedule and the lineup.
Puts on Plevin. She puts on Plevin.
Yeah.
11 o'clock at night. Once you practice, in my experience anyway, once you practice a routine enough, it becomes easier.
When does the day start? If it ends around 8 o'clock at night, are you working from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. typically?
Yeah, I mean, there's breaks. I'll take breaks. I'll do stuff. Until recently, I lived in my house. I would do projects. I'd wallpaper or paint or work in my yard. just for health reasons, just to get fresh air, get sun on my face.
Do you ever go running, or do you like?
Yeah, I actually sold my treadmill to my neighbor when I moved, so I don't really run anymore. I try to lift weights every day for at least 20 or 30 minutes. It just
Is that also therapeutic?
Yeah, it is. It is. I listen to music all the time.
Who do you like?
U2 is my favorite.
Okay.
But I love anything. I love classic rock, alt rock. Seems all my friends are getting into country or have been.
Yeah.
And it's an acquired taste. I'm trying.
Yeah. No, I haven't jumped on that bandwagon yet.
I can't. I've been told my music all sounds the same, so I don't like telling other people that, but I kind of have to tell country music fans that this all sounds the same to me.
Have you been able to survive the last 3 years without falling into a depression, or have you and come out? Are you still in it?
No, I haven't, Ted. I felt grief at the loss of John, and I've never been with someone so intimately, and then they're just gone from the earth. It's not like other relationships I've had where at least they're there. You may pass them on the street or you may text them. The day after he died on January 30th, David told me I needed to hire a private investigator, and I did right away. And on January 30th, he drove to my parents. It was still snowing the day after John was killed. My PI picked me up and he said, "We need to go retrace your steps."
You did that on the 30th?
I did it on the 30th. And it was one of the worst days of my life. No disrespect to my PI, who I love. And I'm sure he was equally uncomfortable, but I could barely even get ready to leave. I'd just cleaned up for the first time. I'd still, up until that point, still had John's blood in my hair. I didn't have any clothes because I didn't think I wasn't going back to John's house. And we retraced my steps.
Mikey.
Yeah.
You know how you kind of knew John?
Yeah.
Growing up, he was just there.
Yeah.
Growing up, there was a kid that was always there.
Yeah.
His name's Mark. Remember we talked about those brown round cylinder bottles?
Of course. Beer balls.
Yes. Remember them things?
Yeah.
He may or may not have lugged a couple of those half mile in the woods. Just saying. So her PI is top notch. I know him. I would hire him, and I don't even think twice about it.
Okay. Is he former cop?
Nope. Well,
What?
I don't think so.
Even better, because he's got a more of an objective mind. You know what I mean?
Dude. He thinks so. You know how Karen thinks analytically, stuff like that. He thinks outside the box, different than you and I. He's just
so good team. So there's one that's inside the box and one outside the box.
I think if they were allowed, and this is the big thing, if she was allowed to introduce what he found, game over.
Oh shit!
Just what he found.
Wow.
So, yeah,
they're talking about it right now, like how they retraced their steps right now,
and
how she hated it.
She didn't want to do it. She wanted nothing to do with it.
Right.
Why would she do it? She wanted to run away from that situation. She just got arrested for something she didn't do. What are you talking about? I want to go back there. No. This
is the 30th that she's doing it.
She just said. I'm gonna rewind it a little bit.
Yeah. All right. Right there. Yeah.
No disrespect to my PI, who I love, and I'm sure he was equally uncomfortable, but I could barely even get ready to leave. I'd just cleaned up for the first time. I'd still, up until that point, still had John's blood in my hair. I didn't have any clothes because I didn't think I wasn't going back to John's house. And we retraced my steps, and I drove by John's house, and there had to have been 20 cars, maybe more, wrapped around the block. And I felt like I was looking in on my life from the sky. That window, all my things are in there. I was just in there with him. And now I'm gone and he's gone and he's never going back. And they're mourning him and I'm not there. And so those first few months, I think I started to get my sea legs. My two best friends, my best friend and her husband came, and we rented an Airbnb in Newport for 3 days at the end of March. It was cold. It was raining the whole time. We had dinner, and then we just went back and talked about the case. And it was very emotional, just a lot of emotions from all of us. And they had spent a lot of time with John. And David reached out to me while I was down in Newport, and he said, we've got some discovery. And we hadn't gotten anything but the initial police report.
This is March 20.
This is late March 2022. I was reading the discovery, and they were implying in this report from Michael Proctor that I had deleted ring footage from John's house. That was the first time. It almost jolted me, Ted, back to you've got to start fighting. They're coming for you. This is not a case of they misconstrued my behavior or were told things that weren't accurate about me that morning. This was, oh, now they've got me deleting things. This is nefarious. What they're accusing me of is nefarious behavior, and the way they're doing it is nefarious.
March 2022, she knew the fix was in.
Yep, from Jump Street, dude. And so did they, obviously.
So didn't.
Imagine that you're all away with some friends.
Private investigator would know that. David would know that.
Imagine though, you're away, you're just thinking, all right, that's gonna get a defense going, and you just do the whole thing with your PI, and you're trying to get your sea legs, like she says, under you, and then all of a sudden this report comes in that you're being accused of deleting ring footage.
Wow,
that's a slap. Like that's like, okay, wake up.
Yep.
Yeah, let's go.
Thank God they did that.
Yep.
Wow, that's a wake up, huh? I did what?
And obviously David knows that.
Why would she? Right.
And I realized then when they drove.
Nothing happened at One Meadows. Why is the ring footage there even an issue? Right.
Me back to my house in Mansfield. This is getting even more serious than it already was. And I had my routine dealing with the grief. And it was, I woke up every morning, I prayed. I missed the kids very much at first. And my dad would come. John's niece and nephew. My dad would come over almost every day. And the O'Keefes had taken out a stay away order almost immediately within like 48 or 72 hours. So it wasn't even an option to reach out to them. It was like they were gone too. And my dad picked up my rosary beads, which were on an end table in my living room. And he said, when you think about them and you feel helpless that you can't reach out to, you just pray for them. That's all you can do. So that was part of my morning routine. I would read, I would pray, and because I was up very early. And then I started to get into this routine of working on the case from like 10 a.m. whenever it started to get dark. And I'd call one of the attorneys, or I'd call someone in my family or one of my friends, like, this doesn't sound right. This doesn't look right. These times aren't right. These names aren't right. And then it's been a steady, I get really charged by, I feel like I'm fighting. I'm covering ground and I'm doing something constructive. I can't litigate this. I don't know legally how to maneuver, but I can at least help provide my attorneys with the materials they need to put together a motion or a cross-examination. I can do that dirty work.
How much of the day-to-day decisions are Karen Reed?
I have a strong vote in the decisions. I will always defer to Alan and David and Liza. They know best. They have the experience. But the longer this goes, I have more confidence in my decisions. Things I've suspected were happening or that are going to happen have happened. And I think that's because this is my only experience in this arena, and it's been very negative. And the motives of players in this on behalf of law enforcement are disingenuous, to put it mildly. And I think David and Alan have a wider sample with wider outcomes than I do. They've worked with honest cops, honest DAs. So I'm much more pessimistic right now. And therefore, I just happen to be better calibrated than they are.
It sounds to me like maybe it wasn't a seminal moment, but there was a time that, the grief was so heavy, and it's almost like you felt you were getting backed into a corner by what you were seeing in like the filings and the accusations, that kind of.
I think I channeled the grief into something constructive. And then somewhere in the middle of it all, I think I know that the lowest point of this whole thing for me, apart from 6 a.m. on January 29th, was getting rearrested. And now I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't physically expecting it. I wasn't mentally or emotionally. And then legally, I didn't even know you could be upcharged. I didn't even know that was a thing. I was expecting to be indicted because of, ham sandwiches, but I wasn't expecting to be indicted for intentionally doing this now. And so somewhere in the middle of
wow,
all people in the world who are intentionally going to do something, who would you choose? Would you choose Karen Reed or Brian Albert to do something bad? Something bad happened. Who's you first go to?
Brian, right? He's done it.
Mine. Unfortunately, mine is the Karen. She's going to tell me the truth.
I understand, but if you want
first one, I assume is this guy.
Yeah,
I talked to her.
Gotcha.
I get her. Now I go talk to him.
I misunderstood your question. I apologize. I thought you wanted to see if you've had somebody that didn't have the resources or the mental capacity to handle something like this. How many people has he fucked with? Dude,
how many people are in jail because he screwed them over?
Right. And he goes on he played so dumb on the bench. In the chair. Like it was his first day. I guess so. Yeah. If you don't ask the question exactly the way it needs to be answered, he's not going to answer it the way you want him to.
You have to cut words out and make it as simple, basic as so it cannot be answered any other way other than yes or no.
Exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
I think we getting another bite at the apple.
Give me a Lessie. Give me a Lessie. Give me a Lessie. Give me a Lessie.
We had Jackson tag out, go back and forth with all four of them and just know the personality of the person you're going to put up there and match the defense counsel with that person. If you need to be hot and aggressive, you pick Alicia or Jackson or you figure it all out.
Yep.
Liza's like that soft, she'll punch, bam. You don't know what's coming. All of a sudden she'll walk you and trap you. You know what I mean? Just keep trapping you.
Listen, like chat saying, dude, how easy was this for them to bang her like that? Boom, you're now in charge. You're murder, upcharging you to second degree.
Because they found out she wasn't going to plea. They needed her to fucking take a plea.
Dude, how often has this happened?
Right.
To other people, right?
It's
happened too easy.
How much would it cost for the everyday Joe like you and me to hire an attorney to get off a murder too?
Doesn't happen.
But
we only hire the attorney to lessen the jail time. That's it. That's it.
And the attorney's going to be like, hey, even though this, I'm paying you $50,000, I can get you 6 years, and you're like, oh, really? All right, you can make this. I can do,
yeah,
really? Like Jesus, and she's like, fuck you.
She knew it from the get.
Fuck you, yeah.
Good for her.
I love this. Is a good interview.
Thank God. Yeah. Thank God they picked her because I'm telling you, I couldn't do this, Mike. I could not be Karen Reed.
I would have freaked. I would
have been no.
Let's be honest. Whether she was alone or whatever, there was a time she had her shit just fucking go up in the air for a couple hours and come back down.
How can it not? You have how she needs an out. I mean, she's praying her rear end off, but I mean,
you need an outlet like a boxing, punch, like not even physical. Like she can.
They arrested that lady for having an argument with her husband when he had a heart attack. Remember that? Kelly's right. I forgot about that. Like
that's right.
Same Norfolk County.
Yep.
Heart attack.
A lot of people get the ham sandwich part she just said is that they will indict a ham sandwich in Norfolk County, and they just did it with that lady that had an argument with her ex over a payment or whatever that was.
House report or something.
And he fell down, had a heart attack, and died, and they blamed her.
And she was trying to save him.
Right.
Welcome to Norfolk County.
That's case law. Wow. Fucking hey, I forgot all about that, Tom.
Yeah. And here's Karen fighting like a bull in a china shop, and she ain't quitting.
And she's
no one's going in either.
And she's talking about it, and she's got the platform. Yeah, I know. And she's got
going in.
She's got the platform to get this, which is great. Like, thank God for Turtle Boy, to get this movement going.
Keeping it going, right?
Right. Because remember when they first came down the steps and there wasn't anybody there, Tom?
I was there. I remember.
Yeah, she came.
There was nobody.
Does anybody have any questions? And Alan Jackson goes, I know you do. And that was Turtle Boy.
And that was the third time that they were there. There were 2 other times before that. There was nobody.
Right.
So I think Aiden might have been there, I think.
I'm not sure.
I don't remember.
I just remember seeing the video.
It was so long ago, dude.
Asked Alan Jackson saying, I know you do, and I don't know if that was planned or what. I hope it was, because that was
well after. That was well when he had already bumped the story out, and he was asking all sorts of questions like, wait a minute, chain of custody, blah, blah.
Yeah, she's been in court in March, starting in March. That's right. So April. Yeah, April's when he busted it open. So she maybe was there once or twice before, and there was nobody there. That's what they wanted. That's what
exactly what they wanted. Yeah. Wow.
Gotta give him some props.
There's no time. There's no space to mourn anymore. Think about your previous life.
Go. All of a sudden, boom, you go. She had no warning this was coming.
Oh, when she got rearrested?
Yeah.
She even knows the thing, she said.
Just wow.
Life. It's they've held me back at the starting blocks, and they've had this massive head start. I've got to catch up. And I've just got to put my head down and work. And it's been like that ever since. I mean, even if I get away, if I go see friends in Florida, I stay and work on the case, and then they pick me up for dinner and we go out for 3 hours. And then it's, I'm getting some vitamin D and some sunlight. But other than that, it's the case. And that's how I feel best. I'll be so happy when it's over. But until I'm acquitted, this is the only thing that calms me down. I feel good going to bed at night knowing I've put in a solid chunk of time, that if I have to sift through these lies and this knot of lies, I'll just undo it thread by thread, and I'll take whatever you want to dish out.
How many pieces of paper have you put your hands on in this case?
I've worked a lot online. A lot of it is in Dropbox, and that was necessitated by being in this car and getting a call from the whole ride up here. I was talking to Liza, and we just got Discovery, and there's not time, and it's not really efficient to print out whatever we got today, 200 pages, and digest it. But I can flip through my phone or my laptop. So, but if I were to convert it to paper, Ted, at this point, it's probably around 10,000, I'd say, on top of videos, hundreds of Ring videos, hours of video from the waterfall, from CF McCarthy's, voicemails, phone records, even that, we downloaded Jen McCabe's gray key extraction, and we were in the physical analyzer for Celebrate. It's you don't even know where to start. Do I look at when was her phone unlocked? When was it vertical versus horizontal? Was there a temperature change in the phone? Was there an elevation change? When was the phone unlocked?
That's how granular you're getting?
Yeah, because you just don't know what's like John's phone, for example, when it was locked, when it was in, when the backlight was on, when did he read his last text? And Jen, for example, we went through all her location data. Well, Rick Green did, but then Rick gives us access to Celebrate, so I can go through it myself. It wasn't until trial started.
Dude, back up.
His last text. And Jen, for example, we went through all her location data. Well, Rick Green did, but then Rick gives us access to Celebrate, so I can go through it myself.
Interesting. You're taking your glasses off of that one, huh? She's badass.
If anybody did anything bad on their phone,
you're fucked.
Don't bother deleting it.
Yeah, sure he has it.
She got it.
Yeah. If anybody tripped the wire yesterday after the allegedly good news, they got it. Whoopsie.
She has access to freaking one of the leading in-depth investigative tools for digital data. She has access to it.
Yep.
It's over.
And they have her phone, right? And they have everything that she needs. But
they have her phone, they have John's phone, they have
Jen's phone,
everybody's phone, Mike.
Except for Brian and Brian.
Unless, of course, that was provided in the 2E.
Hot 2E.
Imagine if they gave access to Brian's phone. Oh, here's a Celebrite file.
Well, you remember seeing Maddie on the stand when he was reading his own texts, and he was so surprised that those were there. Remember? So that was 2E. So you can imagine what's on B&B's phone, man.
Ooh.
And they think they got to, we'll do it the old-fashioned way and get rid, which is smart, right? I guess, but they didn't realize.
The problem is getting the evidence in the court through Judge
Beverly.
She's the gatekeeper,
right?
She's judge, jury, everything when it comes to that information.
There's two parts to this thing: discovery and then getting it admitted.
Wow, I didn't know she had access to Celebrite, dude. That changes everything.
You spell. Well, how did we know that out of 4,500 messages on the 4,500 searches, she only deleted one? That came from her. That came from her camp, and was Richie did a thing on it or whatever happened. You know what I mean? Let's see about that. No one knew that. 45 out of 4,500 searches, the only search she ever deleted was that one at 227.
That's kind of funny, huh?
Is it?
Wow, dude, she's got access to Celebrite. And of course, Celebrite let you know every. I told you.
I didn't realize
the phone knows it was this way. It knows everything about. I'm telling you, temperature. Put it in your pocket. It knows.
Wow.
It wasn't until trial started, the jury was impaneled, and Rick called us and said, on a whim, I started looking at Jen's location data for the days immediately following January 29th. And does this address mean anything to you? And it was Michael Lank's address.
Remember that came up in trial.
And that came up at trial. And then they tried to preempt it by this police report that we got after Jen took the stand, after she's already gone, saying, yeah, Jen was there. I don't know what her story was, trading cupcake recipes with Lank's wife. Once again, at a lead investigator's house on this case, but he wasn't there. She was talking to the wife. Which
Same
is a story.
Right, and she said she never.
Same with Proctor. That's Jen, two people, and then she's hanging out with Brian at the cemetery.
Yeah, it's fucked up, dude.
Got out of the car.
Jen's just the friggin' yip.
Said she never got out of the car. This was, I think, the date at Lank's house was January 30th. It was still snowing that day. It's freezing, but she doesn't get out. They sit, and she said, I think she said it could have been a half hour. They're just sitting in the driveway, which doesn't make much common sense. But that location data had to be parsed from all her location data that comes in latitude and longitude coordinates with like 6 decimal places.
Yep.
And if you see negative 42.873566, it doesn't mean anything to you. You've got to then translate it to a map using another software. And then a lot of it's all around her house. And then maybe it's at the grocery store. And
did that come from the feds?
That Jen's phone, Jen turned in herself.
Oof.
But
nice try, Ted.
It's so tedious. And that was a big data point that she was at his house. And we didn't find it until 2 years into this. There's always more to find. So it's not as if I'm retreading tracks, trying to find something I might have missed. There's always more ground to cover. And now that the case is so public and people are so supportive, now it's trying to digest these tips and which ones are fake, first of all.
So people send you tips.
We get tips constantly. A lot go directly to David and or Alan. Some come over Facebook. Some go to the administrators of the social media pages.
What is the normal procedure? Your attorneys will meet, several days, the night before?
Whatever they can afford to do.
Yeah, Alan Jackson's coming in tonight for a Friday hearing. And so are you essentially war rooming until that hearing?
Yeah, we'll war room. We have a few tips we want to follow up on. Alan tries to jam the schedule. If there's somebody that wants to meet with us that might tell us something useful, we'll schedule it. We'll cram in as much as we can get in.
So you're still developing information?
Yeah. We got information today about John's phone that is exculpatory.
Wow.
But from outside sources as well, not
from outside. Yeah, no, from outside. But sometimes, Ted, it's the internal discovery that opens up another door, another rabbit hole we've got to go down that might make sense with something we've heard. It's constant triangulation of what do we know? What have we been given in discovery? Of that discovery, how much can we actually rely on? How much do we think is manufactured? And then does it dovetail with anything we've heard from people in the community?
Right.
I mean, if I could afford to, I would have the lawyers and I'd have more PIs. My PI's great, but we throw everything at them, and we'd be trying to follow leads.
Is your
every
private?
day.
Does your private investigator work full time for you?
No.
So
no.
It's as it comes. So.
Yeah. Sometimes I won't speak to him for a month, but he's always following things, following the case, and just give him a heads up, day's notice, and he's going to meet us tomorrow in the afternoon to track down a few things. A lot of it ends up being nothing, or it's something that's not admissible. A ton of it is hearsay, which is something I didn't know anything about going into this. Well, someone heard from someone else that parts of the basement were replaced or something was broken in the house, and can't go anywhere with it.
So does Robert Alessi then, does he take part in like this sort of day-to-day stuff, or is he more focused on sort of, like he was critical in the Dr. Russell?
Yeah.
So are portions of the case divvied up then to different people to work on?
Yeah. So ideally we would be full-time trial prep, or at least full-time for me. And when the lawyers are working on my case, it's trial prep. And now we've gotten this curveball for these job requests that it's and we're expecting more. So we've gone through Dr. Russell on the dog bites, now Rick Green on the Google search.
So for people who don't understand this, so you only had 6 people testify in the first trial.
Yeah, and you only had 6 days out of how many weeks?
Right.
And for the second trial, the prosecution is trying to prevent
most of them.
How many experts are they trying to prevent right now?
I don't know where they're going to go with ARCA, but I think
So they did file a motion about the ARCA guy.
They did file a motion. They actually filed an intent to file the motion.
Yeah. Okay.
About ARCA. They're trying to accuse us of a discovery violation that they don't have all the available information on ARCA. I didn't hire ARCA.
Right. And that information could only come from the feds.
That information can only come from the feds. So that's 4. We're not calling back Frank Sheridan, and that just leaves Lucky Loughran. He's the 6th one.
Okay.
So there's no other. If there were more witnesses, I'd probably have more of these hearings.
And Lucky's still.
Lucky still didn't see a body, Ted. I picture every day that they're working on framing me, and
this is that day. It was so freezing cold out, and she's then walking around
every day that they do that. And I'm taking the day off, they're getting 1 day ahead of me. So I only feel relaxed as I can be if I'm working on the case.
Do you think there's a greater purpose in all of this?
I am not the first person this has happened to. I'm not going to be the last, sadly, but maybe there'll be fewer after me because of this. I think it's happening to people in this, I know it is, in this county, in Essex, in Norfolk, and Suffolk, in Bristol. It's happened too easily.
Were you surprised when a new prosecutor was appointed, and an outside prosecutor?
Nothing surprises me anymore. What troubles me is how evil people are. And you don't need to have a strong opinion about my guilt or innocence, but you can't be an attorney in the Boston area and not see this case for what it is, and then to want to thrust yourself in it and think you can prove this beyond a reasonable doubt.
And you said you're still receiving discovery or evidence from the state. How does that make sense after you already had a trial?
The state told us, and Canoni has echoed this, that this is a whole new trial. It's almost like a whole new case. We started getting discovery from Bait Stamp 1, page 1. Some of it is duplicative, and a lot of it's new. We've gotten brand new reports from Ian Whiffen, data that we've never seen before. From Jessica Hyde, there's a doctor now, not a medical doctor, but like a veterinarian expert. We just found out today, measured supposedly Chloe's teeth. No address, no contact phone number.
Did they take molds of the teeth?
They measured the teeth, yeah.
Well, obviously there's a part 3 coming up.
Wow.
They measured Chloe's teeth.
Allegedly.
That's
hey,
Brennan playing allegedly. The shit's over. Allegedly.
Don't I even know who she is. Allegedly. I mean, that's such bullshit. They know, like, they get discovery saying we measured a dog's tooth, but we're not going to give you anything else other than that. What the fuck is that?
You can't prove it's that even that dog.
Right. But you don't know what Beverly Canoni's going to do. You don't know if she's going to let that in. Like, it's that's how far. So that's why Dr. Russell went through this shit when Brett was like, what if you had a mold? What if you had this? He was trying to bait her into saying what he wanted.
And she says, I wouldn't go anywhere near that dog.
Right.
I'm afraid to get bit. I wouldn't go in there. I would not do that.
Karen's on top of it, man. She's like probably your best client you could ever have if you're a lawyer too, you know?
And she's fighting for her life.
Well, because she's fucking innocent. Let's just call it what it is. Right.
I mean, she said, how can you see this case for what it is?
Right.
I mean,
and how can you insert yourself, Mr. Brennan, for what it is? Right.
Wow.
All he sees is dollar signs. He's up to $1.50 already. It's been 3 or 4 months.
Hey, listen, they paid Mello.
Fucking what a waste of money. What a waste of money.
You know how much money that's gonna cost that Norfolk County when Aiden sues them?
Oh,
you know how much money that costing is gonna cost them?
He mentioned on his show, I was watching or listening to it, the Duke lacrosse players, from fucking Gant's mother.
Okay.
They each got 20 mil.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you.
I think there's gonna be a lot more than. Well, that was a pretty serious charge and ruined a lot of kids' lives for a long time because of that whole prosecution.
I agree. That was a whole bad scene.
Then she comes out and admits to the lie. That was just like, here are these 6 or 7 young guys, lacrosse players that do get the whole lives in front of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think $20 million is selling them short. Because 40% of it's gone, right?
Again, I can't even. Yeah, the lawyers get 30% of it.
So he's get 12 million, so whatever. But that's really not a lot of money in today's world.
No, it really isn't.
No, but to be 20 years old and 21 years old, your whole life. And I feel like Karen has got a good grasp of this. And she's,
thank God unfortunately, thank God it did happen to her because, Karen.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Listen, she could be a bigwig in the finance world, we'll say, right?
Yep.
But she's so much bigger to some of the people in the everyday world.
Yeah. She's got
she is a pillar for women and gives them strength. You should hear the stories that people, as she's walking by, these people tell her stories, Mike. I hear it. It's women, they go through, a hard road and they identify with her and they tell Karen that. It's just, again, I don't know how or where she gets her strength, but that girl's got like superhero powers to be putting up with all this nonsense and not lose her freaking mind or her temper. I'd be Forget it. You don't even want to know.
I know.
Ever seen Turk 182?
I think I have. Yeah.
It'd be Tom 617 or something. You know.
I just she's inspiration to a lot of people. She's got a platform now where she can change a lot of people's lives, or give them hope, or to keep fighting, or to try something different. Don't give up. That whole thing. Look to a higher power. Pray.
Before I went to court, I stopped at the church and I said a prayer, like I do every time.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome. Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
Always seek a higher power, whether it's God or whatever you want to do, Buddha, whoever, whatever it is.
Whatever works.
Whatever works for you, man.
And then when you get frustrated, her father gave her the best advice: just pray on it, and that's all you can do.
You can't. Yeah, you're right.
Unfortunately, she can't get mad over this because something else is gonna come down the road, and she's gonna miss it. She's too busy being mad about that.
Right. You can't get distracted. You can't get emotional. Yeah. Obviously, I'm not emotional. So, like, how can she actually get into a meaningful relationship? Because all her emotions and time is taken away from her right now because of this trial. This
is her purpose in life.
Right.
This is it. Like granted,
she
she didn't choose this path. This was chosen for her.
Right.
But she's definitely on this crescendo of people. She's just proven everybody what being smart is, what it's like. What love is like, what family, what prayer,
Yeah,
the whole package, all of it. Her whole family gives good info, right?
Yeah. I think her family encompasses like what everybody strives to be as a family, and how strong they are to be together. There's no wavering. We always believed. There was no doubt about it. There was no nothing. And then you throw that personalities together with the lawyer group that she has, the team. It just makes an unstoppable team. But like she said, I can't believe there's so much hate out there, and then evil, and then try to insert yourself into this. That was skillfully said. Like how what you're doing, and you're just taking the money. In my opinion, again, back to the fucking money. Back to
about the money.
The money. And but she's saying it's power too. Money, power. Money equals power, obviously.
So they took my insurance. Okay, so now they have no power. What are they gonna? They can't take what? What are they gonna take now? Take it. Take the headaches with it.
Right.
Wow, that was a good interview.
Ted did a good job. It just sucks that he got duped, or they got duped, or we got duped, or like Karen.
Listen,
Karen,
heads up. Before next Tuesday, I predict Monday, Alessi will have committed like genocide or something, or Alan Jackson burned down California, or something will come out. Something will come out uncooperated. It'll be out there in the Twitter. It'll be the rage for the day, whatever it is.
Usually it's a Friday dump, right? Yeah.
Friday dump. Everyone's stroking out.
So she didn't even rule yesterday. She didn't give an
what
opinion.
Can she rule about? What's Bev gonna say? Oh, the investigation's over. Thank God.
No,
we can talk about it now.
If Jackson going to stay on the team? Is he? Was there any?
What has he done? Whoa, wait a minute.
Nothing. It's allegedly.
He's done nothing incorrectly to be thrown off the team.
Well, I'm not according to Brennan.
Paid an invoice.
Yeah. Can you believe that? That's what they're literally having a day's worth of arguments over. Is like who paid it, when they paid it, how they paid it, and what was said about paying it. It's like,
these are the people the FBI hired.
Right.
They gave us, we know they hired because they gave us the reports.
Right.
But here's a bill for $23,000 made out to Karen Reed.
Right.
Well, what do you do? Well, let me call the FBI and find out. Yeah, FBI, what do I do with this bill? Do I pay it? Yep. All right, that's all I need to know. Cut the check.
Right.
If that's prosecutable, then good luck to every comptroller out there.
And don't forget that the Commonwealth had access to them too, and didn't want to use them. They were purple, right? Red, blue, purple. They were like, okay, we have this data.
Purple.
You want to use it? Great. If you want to use it, great. The Commonwealth said no, thank you, because it didn't fit their narrative.
Listen, what about all this friggin' backup info they pulled from telematics system, and she backed up, she did it. Oh my God, the case is over. Where's all the telematics, Mike?
I don't know.
They put the chip back on the motherboard. They put the whole thing back together. Where's the data that proves she did what you're saying she did?
Because it didn't have the data that they wanted on it.
How would you like to be Hank when they can't prove he went backwards 24 miles an hour? What's the excuse then?
I don't know what they're going to change it to, Tom. That's why they're trying to get rid of the crash daddies.
What is his next play? I'm sure Karen knows. I'm sure she's 3 plays ahead of that. But think about that, right? What's his next play? If that, right? Well, if they prove the car didn't go backwards through putting the chip on that motherboard, putting the car back together, the car didn't go backwards.
Yeah. Now what, guys? It didn't line up for what we wanted, right?
Then what? The 3-point turn didn't work out.
Well,
the
first
reverse at 24 miles an hour was working for a while, but that ain't gonna work now.
At first, they tried to destroy it. They tried to destroy it. Remember, it was not repairable. Oh no, we can fix it. We can fix it.
It'll destroy the chip.
They've tried,
and I'm telling you, no, it doesn't. You just undo the solder. It doesn't destroy the chip.
Right, that's what I thought too. Like you just unsolder it. It's not like,
and then you solder it back on.
Oh God, fuck, man. All right, man. You want to call it?
Yeah. Listen, tomorrow I have 8:30 appointment. We can come on at 9 if you want.
I don't care. Whatever you want to do. We have a guest coming on.
Oh shit, that's right. I thought. Wait a minute. Let me check on that. Let me make sure it's not. Make sure it's not tomorrow night. Nan, do we know when Nan is coming on?
Tell him tomorrow night. It'd be what's that? Thursday night.
Yeah.
I don't mind.
Whatever.
Yeah, it's just
no pressure.
Well, you have a schedule for 8 o'clock tomorrow morning on the tube.
Okay.
So I don't know what your tomorrow morning 8:30.
All right, she's coming on tomorrow. Okay.
So
well, listen, you can start at 8:30. I'll be. It's just
no problem.
2 seconds.
All right, I can do it. Yeah.
Sweet. All right. So tomorrow morning, 8:30. Yes.
All right.
I can't wait. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'll get the morning going, and then when you get back, we'll put her on. Or is that how much time you need? Or
listen, I'll just go early to my appointment. That's all.
Okay.
I'm good.
All right. Then
I'll be there.
I'll do some interviewing.
All right. Yeah. She's dynamite, by the way. I can't wait. I can't wait.
She's a firecracker. I love it.
She's what we need.
All right, man. You have yourself a good day. All right. Chat.
Enjoy, bud.
A chat. Peace
out. Before the snow melts, we have to get up there. I'm telling you, sometime soon.
Yeah. We're getting old, but I'll try. All right.
We can do it.
You having another pizza party Sunday? Not sure. Hey, listen,
I'm not sure, only because I want to go to the standout and see Jess. 60, how many days? 65, 66 days, 66 weekends in a row. I'm sorry. Consecutive weekends. So she needs a little. I'm gonna go down and say hi to her.
I think she's in the Guinness Book of World Records for standouts.
That standout has been like nonstop in all weather. It's crazy. So yeah. Awesome. And then there was something else I had. Maybe this there was something.
Worry about it, man. People making me make sure I'm making tomorrow. Sammy's yelling at me, Michael, stop. I don't know what's going on. So if something changes in the schedule, we'll post it on the YouTube channel. All right. If it's tomorrow night or whatever.
We're not going anywhere.
Yeah. Thanks for the contributions, people.
Awesome. Yes, everybody. Thank you.
All right. I'll let you sign up, bro.
All right, bud.
Bye.
All right, guys. Yesterday wasn't much of anything. You know. It was just, no. All right. So maybe pizza down the Cape. Imagine that. That would be something. Maybe pizza down the Cape. I got to go down there anyway. That's probably a good idea. All right. So listen, we did we did a little giveaway thing for Karen for some shirts, right? And we raised some money for her. Thank you, every single person. And we spun the wheel 5 times. So 5 of you won t-shirts. Denise, I want to say Schooner, Mary Cronin, my buddy Chase, he won a shirt. D. McDade, and my Peppa. So congratulations to you 5 people. If you haven't got in your sizes, send me your sizes to cputom@gmail or the mod chat, cputommods@gmail, and we'll get you that all stuff like that. You'll be all set. Yeah, I hope everyone has an absolutely wonderful day. Enjoy it. It's gonna be nice. What's the weather now? Yesterday was cold. Yeah, it's 44 degrees outside. The sun's shining. You all have a wonderful, super day. It's Karen's birthday. Please wish Karen a happy birthday. She sees what we do, I'm sure. And again, yesterday for the flowers, that was all you guys. You know, I'm just the pipe. Water flows from there and goes there. You guys make that happen. Next court date, I want to say Karen's on Tuesday and Aiden's on Wednesday. I mean, we got a lot of court coming up, so we'll be there. Yeah, 50 degrees. That was a cold 50 yesterday. Yeah, 50. Oh, all right, everybody. No, it's my pleasure, you guys. I love doing this for you guys. Really, you guys are the best. On the way out, hit the thumbs up, like, subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Love yous.